Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor, Ethico.
Handling multiple compliance cases can often feel like navigating a complex labyrinth. Ethico introduces simplicity and intelligence into this chaos with our custom workflow automation. By automatically routing cases based on your unique criteria, we turn the maze into a clear path forward. Envision a compliance process that's not just effective, but also intuitive and adaptable to your needs. It's time to redefine efficiency in your workplace. Embark on this journey of transformation at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, 2023, The Year in Compliance, to discover a world of seamless compliance management.
The Daily Compliance News for February 12, 2024, the Corruption is Invidious edition. And we begin with that story from the New York Times in a really stunning report about how 2 Irish businessmen almost took Nigeria for $11 billion for a contract that never started. And it shows throughout the reporting that the bribes were not paid to the senior officials to get the contract. They were paid to a lowly lawyer in the Nigerian minister's office who presented it to the minister as a routine contract. And because of some escape clauses baked into it, it nearly cost Nigeria $11 billion. Shows what happens and the true invidiousness of corruption. It's a great read. It's a long read. I hope you'll take the time to check it out. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, from the Business and Retail section, BASF is speeding up its exit from 2 Chinese joint ventures over Xinjiang human rights concerns. It's accelerating its process after an investigation by German media outlets Der Spiegel and ZDF, which claim that the employer's Chinese partner is using Uyghurs as slave labor or at least forced labor. Next up, a story about EY and its putative attempt to spin off its consulting business from its audit business, and it cost more than $700 million of extra debt into its global operating business because of this. They spent some $600 million preparing for the spinoff, and of course, it never happened. The firm really took a bath on this, and it wasn't approved by the firm. So you might wonder why they went forward with it, but they did, and it was turned down. And our final story comes to us from the BBC about the lack of faith in technology. And one of the things about the Monday edition of the Daily Compliance News is you get some interesting philosophical articles over the weekend, and this is certainly one of them. I would urge you to check this out to talk about some of the concerns that people are having around too much tech and where it may be going. In the month of February, the Compliance Podcast Network is sponsored by Ethico. Are you struggling to close cases? Well, Ethico is here for you. Take advantage of their innovative approach to empathetic issue intake, streamlined case management, and enterprise-wide disclosures. Learn more about how you can crowdsource risk management at scale at ethico.com/CPN. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.